Welcome into our final edition of the Frostburg Sports Awards for the 2021 season. I have Malik Morris from football, our wide receiver who just broke two career records here at Frostburg State and a big win last Thursday against West Liberty, a game that was broadcast on Masson. Malik, I just want to get your thoughts and your feelings on breaking the school's all-time touchdown record and the all-time receiving record. Has it really hit you yet?
It hasn't hit me yet. We have a meeting later on today to let the seniors go, and it really hasn't hit me that I'm done playing football here at Frostburg. I first want to start out by saying thank you to God, thank you to my family and my teammates for allowing me to be here today, and I couldn't do it without you guys.
And now, with that win, we were named conference champions, and then on Saturday confirmed that we were co-champions. You were a part of the 2016 and the 2018 teams that both won the NJAC championships at the Division III level. What is the feeling and the emotion around winning this championship? Is this any different than winning those, considering, it's really our only second full season at Division II, came out pretty well in the first year in 2019, and now this year winning a share of the conference championship. What does that mean to you guys?
It means a lot to me. It was a huge game for me. The 2016 season, the conference championship was huge, but it was my first year here, and I wasn't really a leader on the team, and it didn't really hit me that you had to lead your team to a championship and make those big plays in those crucial moments. But now when you become a big player on your team and know that you have to make those plays to, win those big games and win those conference titles, it means a lot more when you actually sit down and think all the work that you put in and all the time you put in meetings, film study, and just talking to your teammates to try to build that bond. It just builds that championship mentality throughout the whole team.
You talked about the seniors and the families that were here on Thursday for senior night. What was that emotion and the feeling around the team of, all these guys that have poured their heart and soul into Frostburg and made a big contribution and helped us to rebuild the program since DeLane Fitzgerald has got here, our head coach, to honor those guys and so many key members of the team, to see all of them be honored and have their families be there with them to share that moment?
I'm very thankful for all my teammates that has, put in all the hard work throughout 4 or 5 years being here. Teammates such like Gavin, Malcolm, guys that just been here as long as I've been here, and I just seen them grind it out from day one to all the way throughout the end. Like they never took a day off, never took a rep off, never took any time off. It's hard work all the time. Um, I talked to some of the younger freshmen and sophomores, just telling them, look, man, I came here in 2016 to a winning team. We went 10-1 that year, or 10-2, and I just told them that this year should not be your last championship. Keep the championship mentality going on here at Frostburg, and it's going to be a great program coming in the future.
You've talked about a few of your teammates and some guys that have been added and some guys that you have played with. Some guys that have been here for a long time with you, and Lincoln Akubu, Christian Thornton, two guys that come to mind that they've put in the hard work. And, they've been here for a long time. They've helped this team grow. And then two transfers that have come in, Kyle Belak and Zay Giles, have both come in and added a different dimension to the wide receiving core. And with you guys and all of you graduating, that next class is going to have the opportunity to step up next year with all you guys gone. But working with this such talented wide receiving group, it had to have made you so happy throughout the year to work with them.
Yes, it was. It was really exciting just to come out and have 5 seniors. Just knowing it. Just we don't have to think about a play. Like soon as Coach said, we just know our assignment real fast. We're helping the younger guys just get their assignments done. We're standing at the practice throwing and catching balls. It was just fun just to see me, CT, Lincoln, Kyle, and Zay. Speaking on Kyle and Zay, it was great to see them come in and just be a part of the Frostburg family. Like they took the Frostburg way and just stuck with it. Like we lift hard, we work hard, like we don't take days off. And it was just really exciting to see them just come in and just become part of the family just real fast. And we just won a championship from it. It's a great feeling.
Another one of your teammates that I've talked about with every wide receiver that we've had on, Graham Walker, who's your quarterback, and you've had a couple of quarterbacks now in your time at Frostburg. The one thing that they've said about Graham is his toughness and his leadership are his strongest qualities. And we've seen that throughout the year. He's been banged up a couple times, but he gets right back up and he keeps on playing and he keeps on giving you guys the win. He broke the single game record for touchdowns in a game with 7 against West Liberty. And he's a guy that he's a young quarterback, but you can just trust him at any moment that he's going to make the winning play.
I had fun playing with Graham. Um, it was just Graham just always had faith in me, just throwing it to me, and I just love the way that he just continued to get better throughout the season. Just knowing, if he made a mistake in this game, he would fix it the very next game, or if he made a bad throw, he would make the throw better that following game or that next series or that next play. And it's just great to see Graham, have confidence and like the talent that he has as a freshman. Just knowing that he has 3 more years of football left, that he can build on this and just, he can become a record breaker too. Like Graham has talent and he can use it to be a great football player.
A lot of record breakers on this team. Getting into the game itself, and one play that caught everyone's eye was the touchdown catch, your second touchdown, where throw into the back of the end zone and you made the one-handed grab, bobbled it, and then caught it dragging your feet. To see that play, and I'm sure you watched it back at some point, just to kind of be proud of yourself, but making that catch in that moment on TV, how was that feeling? And just realizing after that play, like, man, that was a really good catch.
Well, first off, I want to start by saying thank you to the coaches for scheming it up and drawing it up right. Just seeing that the defense was playing a certain way so we could attack them. The play call was perfect, and the play that I made, I just had to make the play. Right before halftime, Graham threw it up to me. I'm open. You have to make that play. And after I caught it, I really didn't celebrate because when I score touchdowns, I don't really celebrate because I'm used to being there. So I just, it just play the next play mentality to me.
Used to being there, considering you're the all-time touchdown leader, just to throw that out. But, with your football career now wrapped up here at Frostburg, playing your last game, what's the future for Malik? What are you going to be doing? How are you going to be, either involved in the program or finding your own journey and moving on after Frostburg when you've given, so much to this program and this school?
The future for Malik is, I want to carry out my football career as long as I can play. And I would love to coach one day. I love to help kids with far as school, football. I just want to help people, and I feel as though football is a great way to teach young kids how to get through life. Being as though football plays through a lot of weather conditions. It's never in a stable temperature. It's always either cold, hot, raining, snowing. It just teaches you a lot of things about life, and you have to build and work through adversity. As far as Frostburg, I appreciate everyone that helped me throughout my Frostburg career. And I will always come back to the football game supporting all the big games, the homecomings, the championship games, and I hope we keep it going for the years to come.
All right, well, Malik, I really want to thank you for coming on today, and I appreciate your time here after so many years at Frostburg, giving you your recognition. It's certainly well-deserved, and we really, really thank you for being here.
Thank you so much. 11 out.
Stay tuned. Next up, we'll have DeLane Fitzgerald, who's Malik's head coach. He'll be our coach of the week. So stay tuned and go Bobcats. Back here on the Frostburg Sports Awards for our final edition, I have DeLane Fitzgerald, our head football coach. Coach, you've just won this brand new trophy and the Mountain East Co-Championship. So how does it feel after those victories and the NJAC for you guys to come up to Division II in just your second full season and win another conference championship?
Do I sound bad if I say we were angry we didn't win it in 2019? So we felt like we slighted ourselves a little bit. Logan, great group of seniors, the 18 young men that finished up on Thursday night. Great group of young men, and the way they persevered through their career and just continued to find a way to be successful each week on the football field and each year in the classroom. Happy to have been a part of their lives, and as a coaching staff and as a university, we're going to miss them.
Now, in that game against West Liberty, 56-3 win, was it one of your most complete performances of the season that you thought the most points we scored in a game with 56, the fewest points allowed in a game with 3, and from the start it was pretty much clicking the entire way where the offense was humming, the defense was limiting their attack, and the team just came together as a whole for that final game?
I would agree that it was our most complete game of the 2021 season. Offense, defense, special teams, just playing real well in all aspects of the game. Our players were ready to play. As a coaching staff, we did some things different last week in practice. We had a completely different pregame regiment. We were really physical in pregame on Thursday night. Our guys were ready to play. I think those 18 seniors wanted to finish their careers on a high note, and I know they were ramped up and ready to play. And I think the other players in our program were amped up and excited to send those 18 seniors out, send them out in style, send them out the way they deserve to be sent out. Logan, it's the winningest group. It's the winningest group of seniors in school history.
We wanted to talk about those senior class and the thought that, you know, a lot of these guys sign on as Division III players that were going to play in Division III and Division III football. They made the jump up to Division II and they kept their places and they competed with these guys that have been on scholarship for this number of years. What does that say about that group, that they put their heart and soul into this team and kept a winning tradition, moving up a whole division in football?
Logan, the group that finished up on Thursday night, that group of seniors, without COVID, they should have been seniors last fall. So our 2020 group, that is our best recruiting class. It's our best recruiting class, and you know, the year we brought them in here, we won a Division III conference and we made the playoffs, and then they were with us through the transition and through the pandemic. Had we have not transitioned to Division II and stayed Division III, we'd have made a national title run with this group. But, you know, life happened, and the one thing you can guarantee is there's going to be change. And there were some changes. We went up a level, which they're happy about. That they got to show that they could play scholarship football, and then they survived the pandemic. You really have to take your hat off to our group of seniors on the way they persevered. The way they just kept the course, stayed the course. There were only 20 of them originally, and you figure out of the 20, Zach Strand got injured, and Zach Strand's going to come back and play next year, which is a bonus to us. But out of the 20, 18 of them ended up finishing together, and we're happy about that. Great group of young men, great group of seniors, good students in the classroom, good citizens in our community on the D3 to D2. And one of these days, I'm going to get to stop answering the questions about that. The last 3 or 4 years we were in Division III, we were a top 10 Division III team. Well, the top 10 Division III teams in the country, they can play with the top 40 or 50 Division II teams in the country. And then, you know, if the young men do what they're supposed to and they're well prepared, they take care of their bodies, they do what they're supposed to in the weight room, in the classroom, that they've done film study and stuff, you're going to be fine on Saturdays.
A couple of those guys from that senior class that have really made their mark on this program, and 2 guys that broke school records this year, Gavin Levat and Malik Morris. Gavin at the running back spot and Malik at the wide receiver. Gavin breaking the school rushing record for yards in a career, and Malik breaking the touchdown and receiving yards record. How much does it mean for you to coach those guys up and have them be at the top of the leaderboards for their Frostburg careers?
Yeah, I hate to talk about 2 of them and not talk about the other 16, okay? Gavin is he is a poster child for perseverance, and Gavin came here a long time ago and had some personal trials and tribulations, and had some academic tribulations, and he's had to fight through some things to stay here. But the one thing that was always unwavering in his time here was his love for football. Loves this town, loves this university, really likes the football program here, and he loves football. To watch his mental maturation, to watch him mature as a young man, has been one of the highlights of my coaching career. And the older you get as a coach, the more you think about that thing and see those things. But really proud of the young man that Gavin has turned into. Logan, Gavin was a really good football player from the time he stepped foot on this campus, and that's never changed. But the stuff off the field and in the classroom really changed for him. And happy as heck to have been able to coach him, and then happy to have watched him grow up. Malik has some of the same stuff. Malik came here 5 or 6 years ago, a wayward young man out of Baltimore, and didn't have a whole lot of career goals. And at one point in time, his freshman year, he told me that he was going to play 4 years of football and then was going to go off to life back in the city and all that. And when he left the office, I was really disappointed. Trying to think of ways that you could help that young man be better as a person, be better as a citizen in society. Since his first day here, he's been as good as any receiver we've ever had. He's been the best special teams player we've had almost every year he's been here. He has been really good on the field. But it's the things he's done off the field. He got himself straight academically. He cleaned up his act academically, and now Malik walks around and he talks about coaching, talks about teaching, he talks about helping young people. like himself. He talks about helping them to improve their lives. Every time he does that, you just get a big smile on your face. Now, have Gavin and Malik gotten better as football players since they've been here? Yeah, they both improved, but they were really good when they got here. That was a really good recruiting class.
It was something that both of them talked about. We've talked to Gavin a couple times as our athlete of the week, and we talked to Malik this morning. And both of them, and every player that we've talked to, whenever we bring up the individual accolades, they always talk about that it's a team game and that this team allows them to have their individual success. And Malik specifically talked about this morning about wanting to help the young players and letting them know that, hey, you guys should be winning conference championships year after year here, and don't let this get into your head, and this is just the start for you guys. Where, you know, it seems to be a feeling around the entire team that there are no individuals and every player puts in a little bit to the entire team throughout the weeks.
Yeah, those two young men are team personified now. There's no doubt about that. Malik could be in a pass-happy offense that threw it on every down, and he would have had 2,000-3,000 yards receiving every year and broke a bunch of NCAA records because of how talented he is. Gavin could have been in a run-first offense and could have done a lot of things. He would have rushed for, I don't know, 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 yards. You know, some of those nights when he had it rolling, he's had games here where he had 15 carries for 200 yards, 15 carries for 150 yards. What if we would have given it to him 30 times a game? Yeah, they are team guys and team guys first, and I'm probably remiss in not mentioning that about both of them. But they sacrifice some personal stuff to play on really, really good teams here. They're not unlike the other players in our football program. The kids that come here are about the team, and the definition of mental toughness. The definition of mental toughness is when you do what's best for everybody else in the locker room and not what's best for you. But when it's about everyone else and not about you. I learned as a young player that in team sports, with victory, there's enough glory for everyone. In victory, there's enough glory for everyone involved. And you said they both talked about us going forward and with this program. Thursday night's a watershed moment in the Frostburg football program. This football program is going to have a lot of 10, 11, 12, 13 win seasons. We're going to win conference titles. We're going to make the playoffs. We're going to make a playoff run. But Thursday night was just the start of it. They're right.
Going into this offseason now, coming off being picked third at the preseason in the MEC, now conference co-champions, now, you know, preparing for next year when we are tournament eligible and not getting the players too far ahead of themselves of, yes, we won this conference championship, but there's still going to be work to do next year. Teams are going to come back really talented. What's sort of the preparation and how's the message to the team? Obviously, season just ending, so a little bit of rest time, but getting them ready for next year as well.
Yeah, the conference is going to stop disrespecting us with the preseason poll stuff now, because the best thing the other teams in the conference can do is just not have a preseason poll. It serves as bulletin board material, and I don't think they understand that kids from Virginia and D.C. and Maryland, they don't do bulletin board material for one day or 1 week. When you put it up there, it motivates them every single week of the whole year. We knew we were better than the third place team in the conference. We knew we were better than the third place team. But like I told you earlier in this interview, we thought we were better than the second place team in 2019. We were upset about going 8-3. So you know what we thought about being picked as the third place team. Going forward, our coaching staff, our players, our university, our entire football program, we have to re-earn it. The 130 young men in our football program that finished up on Thursday night, finished the 2021 season, they earned it. And here's where it was earned at. Us practicing in 0-degree weather in the month of February with the snow hitting us in the face for 2 straight weeks, and us practicing in 3 inches of snow and 6 inches of snow with no snow plow and none of that stuff. The mental and physical toughness that we gained from practicing last February and playing a season last March, it catapulted us into this fall. But our young men last spring, they earned a right to be conference champions this fall. Now, did we have to go out and play? Yeah, but what we did last spring and this past summer gave us an opportunity to be great this fall, and that's what the young men did. We have to go back out and we have to go back out and do that again. So our 2022 season starts with the team meeting this afternoon.
All right, Coach. Well, I want to thank you for taking time out of your day here, and congratulations on your conference championship once again. We're really looking forward to next year, what this team is going to bring and improve on this year as well, but we really appreciate you being here.
Logan, thank you, and to the SID's office, thanks for all that you guys do, not only in the fall, but in the spring and summer. We appreciate everything. And pound, Cats, pound.
Absolutely, and that the motto all season long. So wrapping up the Frostburg Sports Awards for the fall, next up we'll have Mackenzie Folch from women's soccer, who was named to the all-tournament team for the MEC. So be sure to stay tuned for that one, and as always, go Bobcats. All right, wrapping up the Frostburg Sports Awards for this fall season, I have Mackenzie Folch from women's soccer, who's our senior defender, and she was named to the first team All-MEC and the MEC All-Tournament team for this past weekend. Mackenzie, kind of wrapping up this season, just sort of your thoughts on this team and coming up from Division III, and you've been here since that level of competing in the CAC, now moving up to the MEC, back-to-back division titles for you guys, and now making it to the championship game.
Yeah, so coming from Division III, it was always extremely competitive. All the teams that we played against were always amazing, and I always looked up to the players that I was with. And then moving to Division II, it was just a whole different playing field. A lot of the teams that we play now in the MEC are great. Obviously, we played, Charleston, Concord, amazing teams. And I couldn't have asked for a better team and a better coaching staff to, go along that journey with.
And for you personally, in the midst of this year, you're used to playing in a back four with one center back next to you, and the switch early in the season against Concord, which we played in the championship game, to move to that back three, put you as the central defender in there, and a lot was kind of on you of, telling the wide backs to either get forward or being a leader to them, and then being named first team All MEC and the all conference teams. What did those distinctions, what did they mean to you? How did you feel about those?
So I always loved playing a four-back. I kind of always did growing up, and it was always the safer option, just because, the two center backs are the last two defenders of the team. And when we switched to a three-back, it was a little sketchy, scary at first, but I had full confidence in Abby and Kat, my right and left back, to help me out. They always had my back, so I thought it was a great idea. I loved it.
Wanted to talk about those two partners with you, and Abby and Kat. Abby, who you've played with basically since your time that you started here. You both have pretty much started since your freshman years. And then Kat coming in as a freshman this year and just brought a whole new dimension of, she's fast, she's strong, she can recover, and she can put in a tackle. But just the difference between those two and being able to work with Abby like you have done for a number of years, and then Kat coming in and learning, from you guys as well.
Yeah, they definitely are two different players, and they both have their own strengths. Abby is definitely, she loves to go forward, so, I'm always there covering for her. And again, she always has my back. Kat is a little bit more aggressive. I know that she'll always have my back. She loves to play the high balls over top, and she's great at it. Same with Abby, and I don't think I could have asked for two better outside backs.
Going back to earlier this year in a game against Alderson Broadus, you scored your first collegiate goal, just kind of took a dribble and shot from 35 yards out, and it went in. Your first collegiate goal, what was the feeling then when all your teammates, run up and surround you on such a great goal to score?
It was an amazing moment. It was almost surreal. I honestly didn't think it was going in. I was just, my mind was blown that it actually went in, and to have my teammates come and support me and, hug me and be there for me, it just made me really happy. That was definitely one of the highlights of my season.
And this past weekend, you talked about the amount of talent that's in the MEC. Charleston on Friday, a team that we lost to earlier in the year, and came back and beat them 2-1. And then Concord yesterday, a pretty tough loss, the 1-0 on the penalty. But two very talented teams, and you guys as a whole defense, and Hannah Thompson ended up dropping back in for both those games. But you guys stood pretty firm against two really, really good attacks.
I definitely think that their strengths on both Concord and Charleston was their offense, and even, specifically their midfield. But I do think that having a 4 back against both teams really helped us in the end. I mean, we matched up with them really well, and I think it was a pretty even match. Unfortunately, we had one hiccup, and, you know, I have full confidence that next year the team will be in the same position, you know, semifinals, championships, and I think they could go all the way.
With this team, obviously, there's a lot of seniors that are now passing on and graduating. And you think of you and Audra and Lexi and Steph Fidgetzi off the bench as a goalkeeper, and several others that I'm leading off, unfortunately. But there's a lot of young talent that has come through and really taken this team to a new level. What's the imparting knowledge that you give on those younger players to have them get the confidence that they can win this championship, make it to the NCAA tournament when they're eligible, and be able to carry this team like you guys have done for a number of years now?
Yeah, so I think that us as seniors, we've done a great job. I think every single one of us has given their heart and a piece of advice to all of the younger class. And I think that the younger class look up to us so much, and they're constantly, you know, working hard and striving to be the best players that they can be. And my only advice is just to be themselves, you know, work hard, because it will come, you know.
And for you personally, what's the future, you know, for Mackenzie Folch after Frostburg? Obviously that you've got school and everything coming up on you now, and you can focus on that fully, but you know, what's your future plans, and what's your career going to look like in a couple of years?
I'm currently in nursing school, and I'm soon graduating from nursing school, and I'm hoping to continue my education and become a nurse practitioner, hopefully in labor and delivery. That's my goal. But yeah, become a nurse.
All right, well, Mackenzie, thank you for coming on today. We really appreciate you being here. Obviously, you've got nursing school and your academics now coming in full swing, but I want to thank you for coming on and congratulate you on your fine season that you've had.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate you for, you know, letting me come in and talk about it. I really enjoyed it. Thank you.
Absolutely, and so that wraps up this session of the Frostburg Sports Awards. We'll return sometime in the spring when a lot of the sports are back picking up, but be sure to stay tuned for some basketball, as we'll be covering that all winter long, and we really appreciate you tuning in every single week for these Frostburg Sports Awards.